Hello, everybody. It is your baby boomer, Kittee Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. As you can see, I am back on my bed tonight. Kind of hurt myself last night sitting in the chair. So, after about 24 hours, I wanted you to see the progress. And today I've been adulting and grandmaing. So, I think with that in mind, I think I've done fairly well. I think I've done fairly well. And we are just here with another Crochet with Me session. Don't know how much talking there'll be, Joan. But I'll try to entertain thee a little. Y'all, last week I got caught out in the rain, picking my grandbabies up from the bus stop. And I developed this cough. And I got up yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, feeling like it quite possibly was pneumonia. I was hurting in my chest area, but in the back. But y'all, I got me some Mucinex. And I jumped on that right away. And I did the cough drop in the tea trick that Auntie VJ taught me. Yes. Y'all, we made it work. And today, this is the work we got. Y'all, this looks so much better. Remember I told you how wonky it was looking before? Look at that end. Look at that end. Oh, look at that. That's like so premium. Look at that. See, sometimes you have to let it go and redo. It's okay. Sometimes we got to do that in life too. Yeah, sometimes we find ourselves in situations that are not really our situations to be in. And we keep pushing and trying to make it work because something on the inside of us saw something that we wanted to make it ours, but it's not meant for us. And we got to let it go and redo. That's what we got to do. Y'all, I am so full of philosophy today. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was the Mucinex. Oh my goodness. So if you will, please drop in the comments what you're working on. What is your whip of choice for this evening or morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching? And those of you who have followed me on my health journey, y'all, I got a positive phone call today. I've been trying to, if you don't know, I'm disabled, and I rely a lot on assistance, a care provider. And my care provider happens to be my daughter. Well, my daughter works very hard as it is, so anything I can do to take the strain off of her, I do. And I signed up for this program called Meals on Wheels, where they bring you prepared meals ever so often. And they're coming tomorrow to give me my in-home assessment. I started to say low-key excited. No, I'm not low-key excited. I'm very excited. That means all these times on the phone, the past 4 years, on the phone fighting with insurance companies and different agencies that are set aside to help the aged and disabled. The hard work is finally paying off. So I'm excited about that. The row that I'm working on now is pretty much all half double crochet. Because this row is a row with the elements, it's half double crochet and chains. I do 2 to go behind the shell, 2 chains, and then 2 half double crochets. And once I come out of the shell situation, it'll be all half double crochets. And I'd be low-key excited to get to that. What is up with me and this low-key thing this evening? I don't know. You ever become fixated on a word or a phrase and it just kind of sticks with you throughout the day, throughout the week? Hot diggity dog. And today is just the 19th. So I have 12 days, guys. 12 days to turn this into a queen size blanket. It is literally going all the way across my bed. It is. And I don't even have a foot done. Oh my goodness. So, with that in mind, to see how much I have to do, we have 12 days to go. We have, I will say, just for the sake of saying, 72 inches to go. So that is what? 6 feet, 12 days. So I need to do 6 inches a day, which translates to about 12 rows that I need to do a day. Because one row is the shell, the other row is the half double crochet. So I need to do that combination 6 times a day. And right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going into the 6th one. And I just started this one last night. So I have time to, I got time to make this happen. Yo, we can do this. We can definitely do this. I did change up my design from the first one a little bit. Just a little bit. It's still Shells by the Bay. But what I changed was, instead of making it a border of 6 all the way around, I kind of split them up. So I'm doing 1, and then on this pass I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to drop it back down to 1, and then we're going to finish out the middle like this. So it's going to have kind of what looks like a thick border. These are going to Dallas, Texas. I'm sitting in my room right now feeling like I'm about to sweat, and it's like 56 degrees outside. So, need I say more? Dallas, Texas, guys. Yes. And for those, wait a minute. My daughter's kind of spazzing out. Forgive her. She went to the emergency room today. So, they kind of pumped her full of fluids as she was dehydrated for one, and sent her home with a mess of prednisone. I'm kind of scared of prednisone, but that's me and my thing. Hold on. We're not making the same mistake twice. I did this before. There we go. Fix it before it gets out of hand. There you go, Mama. I had to get a grip. I'm not getting halfway through and having to rip this one out. Which means I have to attention pay. Me want attention pay this here. Like, what did she say? I don't know. I know the words I said, and I know that I could take that same thing down to South Carolina and they'll understand it. Take it right down there to my granddaddy's people and they will understand it. And when they talk it back, I'd be like, hey, wait a minute, you got to go slow. You got to go real slow. Yes, I have Kittee in my blood. And my grandfather was a Kittee. Them on language they have, yes. So y'all learned something new about me. I do get kind of quiet on this part. This is where I'm actually putting in the design element. And I don't want to mess up on that part. I do have a tutorial for, not the blanket, but the design element, which is called Shells in the Bay. The inspiration behind naming it is that these little niblets look like shells. And I am very close to, what? No, I'm right on the Chesapeake Bay. And lots of times when we go to the beach, we collect shells. I haven't been to the beach in a while though, but I do love going to the beach and feeling the sand between my toes. I'm going to tell you why I stopped going to the beach. So, I used to go to Virginia Beach quite frequently, the oceanfront in Virginia Beach. And even though this was back in the early 2000s, we used to go out there at night when there weren't so many people. It was nice and cool. The breeze coming off that ocean, the little wave crests that were coming ashore. And I loved burying myself in the sand. One night, y'all, I was almost not here anymore. They have these big machines that come and rake the sand once a week. And the guy could not hear my daughter and my boyfriend telling him to stop, that there was somebody buried in the sand trying to get out. And guys, he was coming straight for me. I was terrified. You never know how heavy sand is until you get yourself in one of those compromising situations. I was terrified. Oh, I was terrified. But as you can see, I made it out. And then, later on that same summer, they were discouraging people from coming down to the beach because they had an astronomical number of jellyfish that were just perusing on the shore. I mean, they were like Andre 3000. Hey, like, really? Why are y'all here? This is our beach to enjoy. Get back in the water. Go back out there. But yeah, And after quite a few people had been stung, they were like, hey, look, if you come down here, you're coming at your own risk. But we really recommend that you don't. And then, guys, when I moved from Portsmouth to Hampton, if I'm not mistaken, it was in 2021, they have a pier down there. If I'm not mistaken, it's at 5th Street off of Atlantic and 5th. And they had someone drive through the barrier and drive off the end of the pier. And I told my daughter when that happened, well, I think that's it for me in Virginia Beach. Now, I'll go to Ocean View. But I'm kind of I started to say low key. I'm kind of scared of that too. And I keep trying to look up this one picture online when I think it was Isabel, the storm Isabel that came through and took this one pier that we used to go to all the time to fish, which was Harrison's Pier, and now it's called the Ocean View Pier since they rebuilt it. But one of the last photographs they took of the pier before the storm came made the newspaper, and my mama was in that picture. My mama was standing on the shallow end of the pier fishing, and they got a picture of her. I was so excited. I always get excited when I find pictures of my mom. She was so active, and she did so much. Lots of times we'll look up duck pen because we were all duck pen bowlers, and we keep finding pictures of my mom online, duck pen bowling. But yeah, the only thing I've done since I've been in Hampton as far as the beach is concerned is pretty much driven by. We're close to Buckrow Beach and Fort Eustis. And Fort Eustis, I got out of the car one time. I went over and sat on the boardwalk and crocheted for a little while. But Buckrow Beach, I've not really been out of the car. I've been to Buckrow Beach before, but that was before I moved over here. One time I went, with a guy I was dating. And then another time, I know I went during the day. One of my poets was having a birthday party, so we were out at Buckrow Beach then. I've also been to the beach down at the tip of Newport News. I used to sing semi-professionally, and I went out there to the park to sing. My kids and I also had a little gospel group, so my manager invited me and the kids to sing together out there as well. That was fun. That was fun. My mom was there for that event. I used to go fishing down at the Newport News pier, down at the park in Newport News where we performed. And that's where I caught my biggest flounder. They hit so weird. You know, sometimes you know it when they hit, other times you don't know it until you're reeling it in. You know, and I'm reeling in my rod, and my buddy Will comes over and he's like, you don't have anything, and I'm trying to keep him away. So I'm like, you're right, I don't. Until I got to the point that I couldn't handle it. They fight, but y'all, they don't fight like a rockfish. Oh my goodness. Your girl went rock fishing one time in a teeny weeny, my mama used to call them cardboard box boat. It was just a tad bigger than a canoe with a little handheld motor. And we went all the way across the little sound. And I mean, with barges coming and everything, you know, when you look, hindsight tells you a lot. And in looking back and knowing some of the things that Will and I went through, oh, the first summer we went out there, we did it for like 2 years. But the first summer we went out there, they had an alligator scare. There had been an alligator spotted out there. I think someone had it and let it loose or something. And I'm sitting on the boat, got my feet hanging across the side and just chilling. And Mr. Smarty Pants, Will, goes, I think you better bring your feet back inside. And there was something in the way he said it that was real eerie. And I snatched my feet back inside. Oh, he cracked up. He was like, but I thought I saw the alligator come. I'm like, you know what? Take me home. Take me home right now. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just take me home. Oh me, oh my. One night we got caught out there in a storm, and I went right into an asthma attack. But y'all, I was pumping those oars hard. That wind was jostling us all over that water. Oh, and that little motor that we had, I'm telling you, the motor itself was about that big on this long stick. They had the little rudder on the bottom to determine which way you go. Yes. I'm sorry. But I was pumping that oar as hard as I could. His roommates had gone with us that night, so there were 4 of us in that teeny weeny little boat. And of course, he was directing the boat, and me and one of the other girls were yes, pushing that boat hard. We got to the point where we could put our feet on the ground. We got out and took that boat ashore, and it was so miraculous that the people inside the boathouse, their oldest son was asthmatic, and he had just gone to the pharmacy that day and got his albuterol inhalers. So he was able to help me out. We weren't far from the hospital, but because of everything that had happened out on the water, I had gotten to the point that I was shaking. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And when you see that little bell pop up, please make sure you hit the one with the dimples so that you always know when I'm dropping fresh new content. Also, if you know someone else who might be interested in my channel, please share. Please share. These little video clips that I do right here are just so that you can take a moment, sit back, sit down, crochet with me, diamond paint, you know, whatever it is that you do, knit, latch hook, cross stitch, whatever. Maybe you just want to sit down and watch somebody crochet for a few minutes. So I try to give you somewhere between a little 15 to 40-minute segment of just crocheting. Just a little bit of conversation and crocheting. And my mission with these particular ones are just to show you my progress on this particular blanket, because I'm really trying hard to get this done by May 31st. March 31st. Whew, wrong M month. So trying to get it done by March 31st. I restarted it on Wednesday night. I only got a couple of rows done to the first set of windows here, and I restarted again this morning, filling in all of this. So this is where I am with you guys. I am not staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning. I had bad dreams all night last night. You talk about weird. They were, and it wasn't bad so much as it was weird. You know, I generally, I'll dream about my mom and my grandmother, but this time I dreamed about my grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, all three of my kids, and my grandkids. And the sleeping situation was crazy. And my grandson kept saying he was going to sleep with me. And I'm like, look, all of us got little beds. You're not sleeping with me. And sure enough, he comes and he gets in my bed. And he gets in a fetal position, which is not even like him. He doesn't sleep like that. But it was like he was determined he was not going to move. And I don't know what it is about the inside of this particular house. It shows up a lot in my dreams. But there's like a hidden bathroom in it. And the bathroom reminds me of the lady's bathroom who taught me to crochet. Her, I love you, Miss Lena. But her bathrooms were over flooded with all kinds of accessories. I'm talking about the fuzzy back on the top and on the lid, the fuzzy back around the back. You know, the only thing that was sticking out was the handle. You had the seat cover. She had the little skirt around the bow. She had two of the crochet toilet paper covers that were doll babies. She had all kinds of wall hangings. She had wallpaper beneath the wall hangings. I mean, it just really made you feel like you were walking into an antique shop to go to the bathroom. And this was just a half bath. You know, and this little secret bathroom that's in my dream is actually a full bath, but the shower is so retro. It's like that old pink and green tile that's in the shower area. But the modernization of it is crazy because it's got the recessed shelves in the wall where you can put your toiletries, you know, like your body wash and your poofers and all this stuff can go on those little recessed shelves. And it's like the mixture is crazy. It's just it's crazy. No, my bathroom would never be like that. My bathroom now has far too much in it for me. And it almost looks like a minimalist bathroom. The less the better. And when I grow up, I'm going to make my room the same way. I am. I want to focus on me and the TV and my crocheting. I don't want to have to look up every day and say, you know what, I need to work on this, I need to work on this. I still want to be able to work on things, but I'm going to need them to have their own place and not everywhere else, as is the case in my room. Sitting up in my room. Yeah. So we are right at the 30-minute mark. And I'm going to try hard to knock out the rest of this row in 10 minutes. That's going to be wild. Because this is the row with the design element. And it does take a little bit of time. This is what I have left to do now. If I were just doing the double crochets, we could, in the half double crochets, we could do a few rows, at least a couple rows in 10 minutes. But like I said, this is the design element, so it takes a little bit of time, just a little bit. Silly rabbit. Hold on. That rabbit. Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Never could get Woody Woodpecker's laugh down. And when I do get it down, I can't do it twice. It's much faster though. I tell you what I can do. Beep beep. Road runner. The coyote's after you. My mom and I used to get up every Saturday morning, like early. I had a newspaper route when I was really young. Yeah, y'all, I did some of it all. But I had a newspaper route, so we would get up like 4:30 in the morning, and we would go over and receive the newspapers and cut them out of the bundles, roll them up, put rubber bands on them, and then we go throw newspapers. And then, of course, I had to do it again that afternoon. Sunday, you only got one paper, but every other day of the week, you got two papers. And then we had to decide whether we wanted to do morning or afternoon because someone else wanted to come on the route. So then I went to afternoons to give my mama a break from waking up at 4:30 in the morning. It didn't matter to me. I was a kid. I was going to wake up anyway. But then it started getting a little dangerous, guys. The young man who shared the route with me took the morning hours, and he got chased a few times, not by dogs, but by people with firearms. And he was a cool kid, you know. All he was doing was just delivering papers. And yeah, it got crazy. And of course my mom got scared, and I was too. You know, I'm a little girl out here, and I'm like, suppose they decide to come after me, especially when especially when time changed, and it started getting darker sooner. You know, now when we went out there in the mornings, yes, it was dark, but it's a different feel. That morning darkness, as opposed to that nighttime darkness, for a kid hits a little different. If you're outside playing with the rest of the kids and it gets dark, fine. But if you're out there in the morning with a parent, fine. But if you're out in the morning by yourself, and even in the evening by yourself, that's scary. And this was back in the late 60s, early 70s. I wasn't supposed to have a newspaper route because I was too young. So, because back then I looked older than I was, they worked with me and my mom and allowed me to have the route. And there was one lady on my route, oh my goodness, she was so mean. I would go to her house to collect, and she would run me over her porch. Lady? And then she would call and tell them that I wouldn't come collect. So my mom went with me one time because I collected in the afternoons. My mom went with me one time, and she confronted her and asked her what was the problem. She said, she throws my papers on the porch. She said, no, you asked your paper to be put in the mailbox. Now, I don't know who's not putting your paper in the mailbox, but she puts your paper in the mailbox. I'm out here with her every morning. But she says, I'm out here with her every morning, and she does not throw your paper. In the afternoons, you requested mailbox. And I'm pretty sure, so my mom low-key, there I go again. My mom followed me for a few days after confronting her, and she would sit down at the corner. And she told me that it was collection day again, and she says, I want you to go collect your money. I'm looking at my mom with tears in my eyes. I'm like, no, she scares me. So I go up to the door and I knock on the door. That lady called me everything but Catherine. She did. She called me a little pest, a pudgy little, some other things. I was like, lady, I just came to collect my $2.65. That's all. And then she came with her belt like she was going to hit me. My mama flew around that corner so fast. She was like, you better not. She came up here to collect her $2.65. Can we please have that? As a matter of fact, why don't you just go ahead and pay for the month so we don't have to come back? So with my mama seeing everything, she went to the I forgot what they call I'll just go say manager for lack of a better term, and told him what was going on. And he said I should have warned you all about her and told you that we would collect from her, but we were always, getting the money from you all. He said I had no idea that you all were going through this. So he followed me one afternoon and he saw her in the act. I went up, I used to tiptoe up on her porch and put her paper in that mailbox as quietly as I possibly could. But what I realized later was that she was sitting in the living room watching and waiting. So as soon as I tipped up on the porch this particular afternoon, she came to the door yelling, and the manager came flying down the street, and he was like, that's it. No more papers for you. We told you one more time. That was it. I was like, whew. I don't have to deal with her no more. Boy. I'm happy. Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to finish this row out with you guys because this is all I have left. And it's not going to get me through this. That's not even a plain yarn chicken type deal. I'm looking for... I'm looking for my yarn. Oh. Yeah, I got some more yarn. I do. I promise you. I do. I have another ball of this. And I have to remember where I put it. So, we are just about 40 minutes in. It's time for me to tell you that I'm so glad we have this time. You know the rest. If you don't, look it up. Carol Burnett, signing off song. And I will gladly come back and talk a hole in your head tomorrow night. I'm trying to get to the end of this stream. Everything would want to mess up right now. That's okay. That's alright. That's okay. We're going to make it work anyway. All right, there we are. So I did like another whole row with you guys. It is almost 11 o'clock here on the peninsula in Virginia. And I am going to try to knock out another whole element after this, like the half double crochet and then the element and the half double crochet. I'm going to try to do that before I lay it down tonight. And I will try to be here again tomorrow night, starting Sunday. You can look for one of these videos daily. But in the meantime, in between time, I want you to remember to exercise self-love, because there is no greater love than self-love. You cannot love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved, and you deserve the best. Remember, Kittee Lane told you. Remember, Kittee Lane loves you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.